Every so often, a game comes along that doesn't just feel like a great time, it feels timeless. That's what Hitman World of Assassination is. It's not just about sneaking around or pulling off the perfect kill. It's about creativity, chaos, and mastering the unexpected. Over the years, the series has refined its formula, and with World of Assassination, it feels like everything finally clicked. In this video, I'll show you why it's not just a great stealth game, but a true modern classic. If this is your first time on my channel, I'm Cliffhanger DK. I make videos about gaming, and I'm doing a series talking about modern classics because I want to highlight fantastic games that can still be played and purchased for a great price. And I can't think of a more deserving entry than Hitman World of Assassination. This isn't just another stealth game. It's the culmination of over 20 years of refinement. A game that rewards creativity, patience, and yes, even chaos. My hope is that by the end of this video, you'll either be reminiscing about why you love it, or itching to dive in for the first time. I've been playing Hitman games since the very beginning, way back in 2000. The first game was my introduction to a PC game that felt like it was mine to control. A playground of freedom, even though it was rudimentary by today's standards. As a Dane, I'm incredibly proud of IO Interactive for putting Denmark on the map with this franchise. And something that many people don't know as well is that the voice actor for Agent 47, David Bateson, is half Danish. It's these little connections that make the series even more meaningful to me. Now, other great games have been made in Denmark, notably Limbo and Inside, but I feel confident in saying that IO Interactive really had the first breakout hit from the small Nordic nation with the original Hitman. Over the years, the franchise has seen its ups and downs, but with World of Assassination, it feels like the culmination of everything IO Interactive has been working toward for over 2 decades. You know, I have done a few of these modern classic videos by now, and whenever I consider a game for this style of video, there's always one thing that I come back to as a must for a game to qualify. Aside from the game being quote-unquote modern, it has to have great gameplay. For example, for me, the remastered Mass Effect trilogy will always have a special place in my heart as one of the greatest video game stories and universes of all time. Gameplay-wise, the trilogy is a bit all over the place and quite disjointed. Now, Hitman World of Assassination combines 3 Hitman games in a much more cohesive and meaningful way. If you sat down and played the game without knowing anything, you probably wouldn't even realize that this is actually 3 games squished into one, with the first releasing roughly a decade ago. And the gameplay throughout all the levels just holds up so well. Every mission feels like a giant puzzle with endless solutions. Maybe you prefer following one of the baked-in assassination storylines, maybe you want to be more assassin-y in a methodical manner, or maybe you just like to spread absolute chaos, which for me is often unintentional, but still a lot of fun. Let me give you a few examples. This is the Dartmoor level from Hitman 3. The goal of the mission is to eliminate Alexa Carlisle and obtain a case file she has on a main character in the story. Dartmoor is a large mansion with secret rooms and a huge outdoor area, complete with a long driveway, a minor botanical garden, and even its own graveyard. As you arrive, you'll spot a famous detective arriving as well, so already from the start you're faced with a choice. Take the place of the detective, see what's going on, and try to angle that to get close to your target, or skip it. and find another way? Let's explore both. Going the detective route, you learn that Alexa Carlyle staged her own death and is planning a fake funeral. However, her brother is actually dead. Evidence points towards a suicide, but she suspects foul play. You spend the rest of the mission interrogating possible suspects, finding clues, and you even uncover that Alexa Carlyle killed her other brother 46 years ago. Ultimately, you can choose to either discover and reveal the real killer, frame the butler, or confirm the death was a suicide. Alexa will hand you the case file, and yes, you still have to eliminate her. And of course, you have to escape as well. Now, had we not gone the detective route, the game shakes out quite differently. You are still presented to other storylines that can lead to the target being eliminated, and though these are fun and should all be played once, I prefer the more direct approach myself. Some would say that this example spirals a tiny bit out of control, and what I thought was a perfect plan turned into a bit of a mess. So, I sneak into the manor and obtain the uniform of a bodyguard. I get curious about this laptop and spend way too much time fighting physics to get this guy out of a chair, and it turns out that nothing important for my playthrough was on this laptop. With my disguise, I can now move more freely around. Before entering the level, I had a sniper rifle hidden outside. I grabbed that to get a clean kill, but I circled the mansion twice before realizing that my target actually never walks outside. Alright, so back inside the mansion, I head to her office, and I learn that she has a room covered in leather walls, probably for loud screaming, perfect for a murder. Behind that, I find another secret room where I hide till presented with the right opportunity. So that took care of her. I still need the case file. This is where things take a bit of a bad turn. Her personal bodyguard discovers her body. I know that the case file is in this office room, so I take out the guard that's left in there. The personal bodyguard finds that body, calls for backup. I take out those guys. Another 2 bodyguards from the balcony arrives. I take out these 2. A third bodyguard, or is it a 5th? I lost track. A bodyguard enters the room through the main door. I off him and decide to hide the body. A maid sees me moving the body, and you know, no witnesses, so... Alright, good. So now everyone is in the office. Back to the case file. It's in a safe hidden behind a painting. First, I find out how to move the painting blocking the safe. Then I discover there's a code to open it. The clues are a bit on the nose, but not so much that it feels lame, and it's not too hard either. I get the case file, walk out of there like a boss, leaving a pile of dead people in an office. Now keep in mind, this was simply 2 ways that you can solve one level. There are a total of 22 levels, each with several storylines and approaches, plus several remixed versions of the levels themselves. For example, the Italian town of Sapienza comes in several configurations. Among others, you have the basic story version that's at daytime, but you also have a nighttime version where suddenly there's a huge movie set in the middle of the street and you have to eliminate the star of the movie. On top of that, there are also arcade missions where a string of missions have to be completed in order. If you fail, there's a mandatory waiting period of 12 hours, adding extra tension. Whilst filming this video, there was a paid DLC mission available for free, where I had to eliminate Conor McGregor. Yes, you can eliminate Conor McGregor in this game. It should be noted, however, that Conor, well, it seems like he did some bad stuff, and IO Interactive actually pulled him out of the game after I filmed this segment. But even with all of these modes, levels, and versions of levels, the best thing by far was added to the game in January of 2023, the roguelike mode called Freelancer. If you don't know, a roguelike is a genre of game where you do a run of a game with random variables each time. For most roguelikes, some kind of progress carries over from run to run, meaning that the next run you'll have more gear or better weapons or a higher level. This is exactly what Freelancer mode in Hitman World of Assassination is about. You choose between several syndicates to take down, picking the one best matching your style of playing the game. Every time you take down a syndicate, you are rewarded with some special item. You'll also level up your profile, which will give access to new rooms in your safe house, each room either being a really cool visual upgrade, and in some cases, a room will have an item inside that you can bring with you on missions. If you die on a mission, you'll lose all the gear you brought with you. Alternatively, if you feel like things are getting out of hand, you can choose to leave any mission and fail it, but keeping your gear. For every mission, you also choose a creative bonus objective, such as having to eliminate the target a certain way, or having to hide in a closet at certain intervals. Freelancer mode just hits this perfect balance between risk and reward, where things can seem like they're going great, but really quickly take a turn for the worse. This mission in a Berlin nightclub, for example, it went quite well. I started by simply following one of my targets. I quickly realized that he doesn't do drugs, meaning poisoning him would be difficult. He was also constantly surrounded by a ton of people. But then I spotted a railing higher up. Perfect spot for a hidden headshot. My second target was exactly in that direction as well. Both hits were successful, and aside from handling a few guards, I now had no stress in the level at all. I was free to steal some money, do some shopping, and grab some gear before I left. Another mission in Dubai later that run didn't go quite as well. The whole level takes place inside a skyscraper. One target was absolutely surrounded by a crowd at all times, and testing my balcony trick from Berlin went less, well, it didn't go so well. Chased by guards, I ended up in front of my next and final target. This quickly evolved to a firefight where the guards blasted me with flashbangs. Lucky for me though, he was very close to an exit and I barely made it out. In this level, I just took way too many risks trying to do bonus objectives for a higher payday. And it's really this uncontrolled chaos and freedom in mission structure that makes Hitman World of Assassination shine. This is of course not the first time we have seen this in a Hitman game, but here it's just perfected. Another thing that has evolved in the franchise over time is just how huge and reactive crowds can be. Today, crowds in a game seem like a very trivial thing, but when I first walked into the Mardi Gras and Hitman Blood Money all the way back in 2006, my mind was completely blown. I couldn't comprehend how this many characters could be on the screen at once, run by my little trusty Xbox 360. Though not as impressive today, the amount of NPCs in modern-day Hitman is still remarkable. The number of guards and civilians in levels like Mumbai in India or the racetrack in Miami just somehow feels like video game magic. The safe house in the Freelancer mode is also a clear nod to the very first hideout in the series, the church from the original Hitman 2. For the first time in the series, there was a continuity between levels other than a loading screen, a place to stash all your gear. And the list just goes on, like the formula has been through so many iterations over the last 20 years. Hitman World of Assassination is as much a game as it is a celebration of everything the Hitman games have achieved over 2 decades. A smorgasbord of levels, modes, creative assassinations, storylines, Name an iconic and cool thing about Hitman, you will find it in this game. For me, Hitman World of Assassination isn't just a game. It's a testament to what gaming can achieve. It's smart, it's creative, and it's endlessly rewarding. Whether you've been with the series since 2000 like me, or you're looking to dive in for the first time, Hitman World of Assassination really has something special for everyone. This is one of those games where you really can enjoy for a short while or spend hundreds of hours exploring. If you're interested in more modern classics that push boundaries, check out my video on Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. It's another stealth masterpiece that redefined what its genre could be, and though these games are incredibly different, there are a lot of cool similarities as well. Subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one.